Hello, I'm Caitlin. I'm a native English speaker from the United States, and I currently work as an English teacher in Andorra through the U.S. Fulbright program. I love teaching languages because I'm a language student myself, and I've spent the last few years working towards proficiency in Spanish, French, and Catalan, so I know how exciting and challenging it can be to learn a new language. And today, I have a lesson for you intermediate students. I'm going to teach you about basic conditional sentences in English. All right, a conditional sentence has two clauses, an if clause and a main clause. An example, if you exercise, you will lose weight, right? So we have a cause, which is the if clause, if you exercise, and an effect. In the future, you will lose weight. All right. Today we'll talk about three types of conditionals. The zero conditional, which is used for truths or facts. The first conditional, which is used for real or possible situations. And the second conditional, which is used for unreal or impossible situations. And we will start with the zero conditional. And let me introduce the structure, which is the following. So again, this is used for facts and truths, and the structure is if plus a subject plus a verb in the present simple, comma, a subject plus a verb in the present simple. All right, it's easier to understand this with an example. So, if you heat water, it boils. So we have an if clause with a subject and a verb in the present simple, and then we have a main clause with a subject and a verb in the present simple. And another example, you might be wondering why it doesn't start with if. It's because here we're starting with the main clause, so you can put either one first. Okay, so here, main clause, the computer turns on, if clause, if you push that button, right? So here, again, we have two verbs in the present simple. And here's some practice. If it rains, the roads are slippery, right? Present simple, present simple. She burns if she forgets to use sunscreen. Present simple, present simple. Moving on, we'll discuss the first conditional, which is used for real situations, real or possible. This is the structure. It might look similar, but there is an important difference. Here, we have if plus the subject plus a verb in the present simple, main clause subject plus will plus the infinitive without to. And these two things together are the simple future. Some examples. If you study tonight, you will pass the exam tomorrow. So we have the if clause. So we have a subject and a verb in the present simple. And in the main clause, we have the simple future, will pass. And again, we can put either clause first, but the if will always have to go with present simple if it's the first conditional. So we have, we will go to the beach if the weather is nice. So main clause, will go, if clause, is, right, the present simple. And let's look at some examples and do some practice. Okay, so in the first conditional, if I have time, I will go to the store. Have, present simple, will go, future. And another one, Barcelona will win the league if they win this game. Okay, so main clause, future, if clause, present simple. Finally, I'm going to introduce the second conditional, which is used for unreal or hypothetical situations. Okay, and here the structure, it does change. Okay, so we have if plus a subject plus a verb in the past simple, a subject plus would plus the infinitive without to. This one can be a bit trickier, so I think examples will help. So, if she won the lottery, she would travel the world. So we have our if clause, and we have a verb in the past simple, and then in our main clause we have would travel, right? Would plus the infinitive without to. Okay? So here we're using second conditional because it's unlikely, right? There's a very, very small percentage chance that she will win the lottery. But if she did win the lottery, she would travel. And an example of a sentence with the main clause first, we would help you if we had more time. So here, would help in the main clause, and then in the if clause, we have the simple past, had. And some practice. If Sharon had a boat, she would travel around the Caribbean. But she does not have a boat. Okay? You would be healthier if you stopped smoking. And finally, in the real world, right, when you're speaking English, you will need to automatically know if you should be using first or second conditional. And it depends on the situation. So, here's an example that I think illustrates the difference between first and second conditional quite well. So imagine we have a good student, right? A student who studies and works hard. Imagine he says, if Harvard accepts me, I will be very happy. So he might be accepted. It's possible, it's likely even. And for that reason, we use the first conditional. On the other hand, if we have a poor student, right, a bad student who does not work very hard and does not study, he might say, if Harvard accepted me, I would be very happy. So here we have the past, the simple past, and would plus the infinitive. Okay, and here we're using the second conditional because we recognize that it's quite unlikely that he will be accepted. In fact, we might even think it's impossible. So for that reason, we use the second conditional. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the lesson and stay tuned for the third conditional. Bye.